Mayhem in Midtown. What's being done about the recent rise in violence in the popular Nashville neighborhood? The senior prank parents say went too far.
I honestly think that it is ridiculous.
The mess causing school leaders in Murray County to cancel classes, breaking your heart and your bank account.
It starts out with something very innocent.
The romance schemers who know what they're doing and the red flags you cannot ignore. Fox 17 News at 9 starts now.
Middle Tennessee's only primetime news. This is Fox 17 News at 9, your Code Red station.
We'd also like to see far more police presence.
We begin tonight with Operation Crime and Justice and security video of a disturbing scene outside a bar in Midtown, a scene that highlights a larger issue. Tonight, residents there calling for change after a spike in violent crimes in this area in recent months. Fox 17 News' Kylie Walker now live off of Division Street in Midtown with what she has discovered.
That's right, and in just 1 week, I reported on 2 high-profile crimes in this popular Nashville neighborhood. And after digging through crime stats from Metro Police, these new numbers paint a picture causing some concern. After making progress battling violent crime in Midtown last year, Metro Police numbers show an uptick in recent months. When you look at aggravated assaults from the end of February to April 20th of this year, we've seen an 85% increase compared to the first 8 weeks of the year. And during that same time frame, violent offenses are up 45%.
I feel absolutely petrified to ever go out downtown, midtown, anywhere in Nashville.
Earlier this week, Fox 17 News showed you an ambush-style attack outside of Kung Fu Saloon where a woman was knocked out unconscious.
He walked over to our group and said, I'm going to kill this.
And the week before, just a couple streets away, Metro Police say a teen shot and killed rapper Chris Cheeks during an attempted robbery.
Chris is dead. I was like, there's just no way.
Today we spoke with Metro Police to ask them about their efforts in this area. They say that they have a continuous presence on Division and Demumbrian Street and collaborate with bar security in the area. But Lisa Haller with the Midtown Music Row neighborhood group says she'd like to see more.
Over time, a lot of the MNPD presence was moved from Midtown and specifically Division Street to Lower Broadway. And due to shortages and resources and so forth, it's been a challenge for MNPD to bring back that presence.
Haller says she works closely with police and city leaders, facilitating a night tour with local council members several months back to identify areas of concern. And Haller says through these initiatives, she's also been able to get much more street lighting put in place to combat issues surrounding crime. Now, moving forward, she'd also like to see more enforcement from Metro Police, especially as it pertains to noise ordinances, because that also can lead to some rowdy behavior. For now, reporting live in Midtown, Kylie Walker, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Looking ahead to May 15th, a new deadline for families whose children are headed to college for the first time or continuing with it to get their federal financial aid forms filled out. That whole process, it's called FAFSA, and you have to do it whether you are actually receiving financial aid or not. It's required in Tennessee to get the scholarship money that comes from the lottery. Joining us now with more on the challenges and opportunities associated with this is Becca Smitty, I should say, director of MT One Stop, which handles this, admissions and all that. You've got a lot going on. Becca, thank you for doing this.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Let's start with this. Normally, the FAFSA deadline is earlier than this, but this year is a little different. What happened?
The FAFSA changed the way that they were doing things altogether. There were computer issues with the Department of Education, so everything has been just delayed, and it's thrown everybody off, including schools and families.
Now, I mentioned that you have to fill out the FAFSA form in order to even get the Tennessee Lottery scholarship money. Do you think most families know this by now?
I would like to think so, but not necessarily, especially those that have first-generation students coming. So it's important for them to know that the Hope Scholarship, Pell Grant, Tennessee Student Assistance grants, they all rely on completing the FAFSA.
Now, financial aid is generally a part of the equation for most families, but I know separate and apart from that are scholarships. Can you give us some insight into how many scholarships are out there and how families should go about investigating that?
Yeah, not only does the FAFSA tell us what a student might be eligible for grants and scholarships from the state, like the lottery, like the Tennessee Student Assistance Grant, but it also tells the school what the student may be eligible for in need-based scholarships that the school themselves can award.
I know sometimes when students get into universities like Middle, because my daughter went there and got her master's there too, there are departmental scholarships that you can apply for that probably a lot of people don't even know until they get there.
Absolutely, and a lot of those have a need-based component that we pull from the FAFSA. So if we don't have it, we don't know that you're eligible.
Sure, this is good information. So families have to absolutely have this done by the 15th of the month.
Yeah, there's no harm in doing it by the 15th. The national deadline is more of a encouragement to get it done so that we can get our financial aid packages out. FAFSA is not going to cut off. It's going to be out there for you to do it. We just want you to get it done so we can roll those packages out.
That's good advice, and go ahead and get in line, and that way if the money should run out, if you're in line first come, first served. Becca Smitty, Director of MT One Stop at Middle Tennessee State University. Have a great weekend. Thanks so much for doing this.
You too.
Well, it's your money, and Metro school employees are getting some big chunks of it when they retire or leave the system because the school district has a generous paid time off benefit. Now, everybody knows that most teachers have summers off. Well, MNSP employees also get time off to the tune of between 10 and 25 vacation days every year and 12 sick days, I should say. Our partners at OpenTheBooks.com crunched the numbers and discovered that the average person in MNPS has 2 months of paid time off saved up. 600 employees have 6 months or more, and most of those guys and gals have been with the district for decades.
The average principal has almost 3 times as much. Principals on average have about 5.5 months of days off. And so this amounts to tens of thousands of dollars for people. And so teachers, they don't use a lot, they don't get a lot of vacation days. They use their vacation days mostly. They have a lot of sick days that they can cash in.
Now, teachers can only save 50 vacation days, unlike the other. When they retire, they get paid for all of that saved time in one lump sum. All right, let's talk about your weather. We knew that it was going to be off and on rain today, and those who got rain got quite a bit of it. But Katie, we've got that big concert going on right now at Nissan Stadium, and things seem so far so good.
Yeah, so far so good, and that looks to be the case here. So we continue through the evening hours for tonight. As we take a look here downtown, you can actually see we are dry on Broadway. So folks getting out of the Predators game here, and at least it is rain free at the moment. Mostly cloudy skies, our temperature sitting around 72, and we're going to hang in those 70s for another hour or so. We should eventually drop back into the 60s going into the evening hours. A lot of these showers are east of 65 now. A couple more to the west of the interstate, but south of 40. And all of these subsevere, which should remain the case through the overnight. Possible, though, that we find a few heavy pockets of rain. And that's going to be the story over the next 7 days, where most of these will be containing heavy rain, lightning, maybe a gust of wind up to 40 miles per hour. There's a wide look at the radar, and then even farther out, you can see that we do have a few more showers and storms around in Middle Tennessee. So a very active pattern setting up for us as we head toward the weekend. Temperatures tonight stay mild with those showers and the clouds around. We'll talk more about this active pattern over the next several days. That coming up in your Fox 17 Code Red forecast. This evening, it has been quite the night. Fox 17 Code Red meteorologist Brett Luna is joining us live at the Nashville Predators watch party. That was quite an introduction, Brett. How's it doing? How are we doing down there? I know we didn't get the outcome we wanted.
Well, yeah, Katie, up until about the last minute, I mean, it was a great time out here. This was the first watch party that I've ever been to, one of these Preds watch parties out here right outside of Bridgestone. Again, up until about the last minute, it was awesome. 250, maybe 300 people out here just enjoying the game. And then when Vancouver scored, it was just instant. Most people got up and left. I will say, though, good news at least, the weather really cooperated with us right here in Nashville. We did not have to worry about any sort of shower or thunderstorm activity. That all stayed to the south and to the east of here. Temperatures were also really good. good. It felt great out here, so a great time to watch the game outdoors. I spoke with one fan before the game started. He traveled in all the way from Greenville, South Carolina, and needless to say, he was very pumped to be here.
We've been to a few this season, but this is our first playoff game to be in town, and all I gotta say is go Preds, baby!
Well, he was very excited, and hopefully for Dan and all of his buddies that were in town with him, hopefully they can still find something good to do today or tonight. I know they're not probably going to be happy with that Preds loss tonight. Reporting in Nashville, Brett Luna, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Brett, thank you. Still to come, romance schemes, the keyboard criminals wooing hearts here in the mid-state, and the red flag.
That's why it's important to have a lawyer that knows how to fight back and win. If you're ready to fight back, call us.
RockyLawFirm.com. We fight for you.
Fox 17 News investigates romance scams targeting people right here in Middle Tennessee. Hundreds of folks are falling victim. And as Fox 17 News' Megan O'Halloran shows us, once these schemers get your money, it is almost impossible to get it back.
And this is LinkedIn. She's finding you on LinkedIn.
Retired FBI agent Scott Augenbaum has a romance schemer cornered. The person behind the keyboard goes by Love Hahn and is slowly about to strike her next victim. Love Hahn fires up a chat with Scott, and he is playing along.
She wanted to do one thing, to gain my trust. And how did she do that? By checking in every day, by leaving me messages.
Hi Scott, new week, new day. Hopefully we have more to offer each other. I have a breakfast and I'm ready to start today, so we can talk more later.
It starts out with something very innocent like that, and then their goal at this point is to get you off of the platform and to get you either to WhatsApp or Telegram.
The two keep talking for days. Love Hahn says she's from China and living in San Francisco, and pretty soon, just as expected, the conversation shifts to investment opportunities, spot gold trading, banking, finance, and cryptocurrency. They befriend victims, build their trust, and get them to invest on their platforms.
And now they meet these people who become their friends who say, I'm going to share this with you. It's easy. Anyone can do it. And then they put a little bit of money in, and then they see the results, which are completely fake.
The victim's money funneled into a totally fraudulent investing platform, producing phony gains reports, money they'll never see again. There's a very specific name for these kinds of schemes.
I've seen them do this to one victim that lost $5.8 million.
Wow.
That's why they call it pig butchering.
But then it goes back to the old saying, if it sounds too good to be true.
It probably is, but let's think about this. With all these different types of trading investments, they're targeting seniors. This scam, the pig butchering scam, is being run by Chinese organized crime. We're seeing it in Southeast Asia. There are some compounds in the United Arab Emirates, and we cannot arrest our way out of this problem. They're getting you to build confidence with them, send them money, and slowly over time what they're doing is they're fattening the pig before they slaughter the pig.
These money runs are happening so often, duping mostly seniors over the age of 55, sometimes dissipating their entire retirement accounts and lifelong earnings.
My whole thing is don't become a victim. I personally have dealt with a half a dozen victims here right in our area who were victimized in this scam.
The pig butchering romance con, one of thousands out there targeting Americans everywhere, and even Middle Tennesseans like Regretful Richard. Not his real name, obviously, but the retired insurance salesman, happily married, found himself victim without ever talking to anyone on the internet, and he certainly wasn't looking for a friend online.
This was a phone call that started from Amazon, actually, in Mount Juliet, saying that my card had been compromised, I believe, and there was purchases made in Albany, New York for quite a number of items, including $1,200 cell phones and things like that. And did you authorize these? I said no.
It was the start of a scare tactic that spiraled into a sense of urgency and cost regretful Richard $40,000. Megan O'Halloran.
That was Megan O'Halloran reporting. Next week, how Richard, whom we just heard from, lost that $40,000 to these swindlers, and perhaps more importantly, how he managed to get back every penny. What he did differently and how to protect yourself. That's next Friday night right here on Fox 17 News at 9. Well, this obviously raises a question for a lot of people. We want to know, if you have ever lost any money in an online scheme like the one that we just described. 174 people have weighed in. The vast majority, more than 83%, say no, but nearly 17% say yes, it's happened to me. The poll's live right now. If you'd like to cast your vote, scan the QR code there on the right-hand side of your screen. It will link you to our poll. And if you'd like to get there to the X page the old-fashioned way, our handle is @FoxNashville, and we will show updated results later in this newscast. All right, Katie, we had not one event downtown, but not two, really three tonight. The Sounds were playing as well, and so far, Mother Nature is cooperating.
Yeah, it has. It's just going to be the kind of the luck of the draw where these showers and storms decide to pop up. And as we head into the next several days, it's going to be a lot like that as well. We take a look here. What's trending? Rain, a very active pattern for us over the next several days here. The good news is there will be several chances for storms, but I do not see severe weather on the table for most of these. Most of these should be sub-severe, but can produce heavy rain, lightning, and maybe a few gusts of wind up to about 40 miles per hour or so. But take a look at this. Over the next several days, plenty of chances for rain here with shower chances each and every day. Now, especially this weekend, we're going to be in what we call more of a popcorn or pop-up storm pattern. So there really isn't going to be a set time that we can give you when we expect the rain to arrive and when we expect it to exit. It'll more so be in the afternoon hours, and they will bubble up, pop up, drop heavy rain, and then they'll move on. Very summer-like pattern for us, in fact. So through the overnight, we should remain relatively quiet. We will have a few showers and storms that'll continue, again, sub-severe. Tomorrow morning, starting off with a few rain showers around. Better chance, though, developing as we head into the afternoon hours. A couple moderate to heavy pockets of rain can't be ruled out, but notice how scattered they are. There isn't a line, there isn't anything really that we can track as far as when they move in and when they move out. These will just form wherever they do form or pop up. Think of them like popcorn kernels in a pot over the stove, and you put them in the pot and then let them pop up, and wherever they pop and when they pop is just when they pop. That's kind of like what we have here for this weekend. Again, it's a very summer-like pattern. That'll continue through the early evening hours as long as the sun's out and we have this instability that bubbles throughout the day due to the sunshine. And then as we get into the evening, we'll start to see things quiet down. 9 p.m. a few showers possible, but overnight we should be pretty quiet. Same goes for Sunday. We'll start off with a few showers, but better chance afternoon. That continues as we head through the afternoon hours and then into the evening. Monday morning, we will start off with a few showers as well. And again, we'll do it all over again with a chance for popcorn storms in the afternoon and into the evening hours. So how much rain are we expecting? Again, it's going to just depend on where those storms decide to set up. But we run this through, and you can see through Monday anywhere between a quarter to a half inch. Some areas could see closer to an inch. Again, just depending on where some of those storms decide to pop up for us. Just know that a very quick, heavy pocket of rain is possible where they do form. We'll talk more about the thunderstorm chances next week, where I do see the potential possibly for some stronger storms. Which day we're talking about, that coming up.
I'm Kayla Gaskins in Washington. Coming up, the latest possible concerns for President Biden's re-election campaign.
Hey there, hope you're having a good night. I'm Jennifer Waddell from Fox 17 News this morning. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and there are some new studies that show our pets reduce stress. They provide security and can even help in social interactions.
Everything from arthritis to autism. Make an appointment today at the Kellum Stem Cell Institute. It might be the call that changes your life.
Tonight in Crisis in the Classroom, the unrest on college campuses is turning up the political heat in Washington. Fox 17 News' Kayla Gaskins has the latest on that. And you can let us know what you think by scanning the QR code that will appear on your screen during our story.
Amid the escalation of anti-Israel protests on college campuses this week,
I care about innocent civilians.
Survivors of Hamas's October 7th attack filing a lawsuit against one of the groups behind the demonstrations, Students for Justice in Palestine, alleging they're recruiting for Hamas. Leaders of the group were arrested Tuesday at Columbia University after taking over a school building.
Make a hole, please. Move.
Critics questioning who's funding these highly organized and well-equipped demonstrations.
I think the FBI needs to be all over this. I think they need to look at the root causes and find out if some of this was funded by, I don't know, George Soros or overseas entities.
These tensions showing no signs of easing, sparking concerns on the left for President Biden's re-election campaign.
This may be Biden's Vietnam. I worry very much that President Biden is putting himself in a position where he has alienated not just young people, but a lot of the Democratic base.
The White House reportedly weighing bringing refugees from Gaza to the U.S. Dozens of alarmed GOP senators signing a letter urging Biden to suspend the plan and redirect the efforts to saving the Americans still held hostage by Hamas. Senator Joni Ernst pressing the Director of National Intelligence, Avril Haines, on these concerns during a hearing Thursday.
Can you tell me for certain that this proposed action by the President of the United States won't put our citizens at risk here in the United States?
I can tell you that the process for bringing individuals into the United States includes a very significant vetting process.
The Biden administration's Palestinian refugee program would require coordination with Egypt, who has so far not allowed any meaningful amounts of refugees from Gaza into their country. In Washington, I'm Kayla Gaskins.
Now, during this story, we have the QR code up, linking you to a poll asking what you think in terms of should Congress investigate the source of funding for anti-Israel college protests. Here are the results. Nearly 700 people weighing in, more than 650, and 89% say yes, Congress should investigate the source of those funds. Our thanks to all those who voted. Crisis in the Classroom is our ongoing commitment to you, our viewers, to expose problems in our schools at all levels and to look for solutions. If you know about a story you'd like to see us cover, send an email to news@fox17.com, or you can also phone our tip line. That number is 615-266-4149. Just ahead, a deadly tussle. Fox 17 News uncovers what may be a fatal flaw in the training for Tennessee.
Trying to help them get back on their feet. That's why I do what I do. You treat it as like a person and not just another claim.
This Fox 17 newscast is sponsored by B.F. Myers Furniture.
Continuing coverage now on a security guard at a Midtown bar charged with aggravated assault after a deadly tussle with a customer. He was in court to face a judge this week. Fox 17 News' Peyton Muse reveals a potential problem with training bouncers and the requirements by the state and the role it could play as this case moves forward.
One of the topics mentioned right through those doors, Dallas's law, which requires more training for licensed security guards.
If you could just, for the court, describe what Dallas training teaches.
Trains you to on how to de-escalate situations and how to handle intoxicated individuals.
Almost 3 summers ago, Dallas Jordan Barrett was asked to leave Whiskey Row on Broadway. Witnesses say Dallas fought with security guards who forced him onto the ground and held him on the floor. Dallas's law is a direct response to Barrett's death, which requires security guards to get a license and complete de-escalation, safe restraint, and CPR training within 15 days of landing a job. What happened between the 36-year-old former tin roof bouncer Richard Cornelius and 26-year-old Austin Turner on February 18th? A detective testified on Wednesday along with 2 bouncers. Turner was asked to leave the bar, and he did. Somehow, he gets back inside, Cornelius sees him, escorts him out, and that's when a fight broke out. The defense attorney claims Turner put his hands on the bouncer first. I pulled the bouncer's licensing records. Cornelius was in compliance. His license was active until the state suspended it after what took place at Tin Roof. Taking a deeper look into his training, he did complete Dallas law training in December of 2022. Andrew Bergman worked as a bouncer at Tin Roof that night.
Have you seen the video in this case?
No.
Okay. Because that's not de-escalating the situation, is it?
No.
Dallas's law training for unarmed officers can be completed online. One piece of the law Austin Turner's family would like to change.
We're dealing with people who are intoxicated, that are belligerent, or their emotions are heightened and elevated. That's not going to be something that you can get from an online training.
Austin's family would like to name the changes Austin's reform in his honor. Reporting at the courthouse, Peyton Muse, Fox 17 News, your Code Red Station.
In the economy tonight, unemployment ticking up slightly in April to 3.9%. And as Fox 17 News' Atra Elnashar shows us, this comes as companies like McDonald's and Starbucks both report their customers are pulling back, trying to keep up with inflation.
April's jobs report is bringing sighs of relief for those worried about an overheating economy. A so-called Goldilocks scenario is looking more and more likely, where the U.S. can make it out of this period of high inflation without triggering a recession. For that to happen, the red-hot job market has to cool, but do it gradually. The latest jobs report from the Labor Department shows unemployment ticked up to 3.9% as the economy added just 175,000 jobs compared to the past year's monthly average of 242,000.
We continue to see job growth. We continue to see it in a broad-based way, right? It's not just one industry. Particular growth in transportation, warehousing. We saw it in retail trade. We also saw it in healthcare.
As for wages, average hourly earnings rose 7 cents in April, bringing the average hourly wage to $34.75. Wages have risen more than inflation, but for a lot of people, it doesn't feel like it after more than 2 years of the fastest price increases in decades. And a lot of customer-facing businesses, McDonald's, KFC, Starbucks, are seeing business slow down.
We saw unexpected pressures on our occasional customers, more intense than we expected, that impacted their visitation.
Inflation's strain on consumers is top of mind for Federal Reserve officials who just voted to hold interest rates at a 2-decade high.
If you're a person who's living paycheck to paycheck and suddenly all the things you buy, the fundamentals of life go up in price, you are in trouble right away.
Fed Chair Jerome Powell says they recognize the hurt inflicted by the tools they're using to bring inflation down.
We know that it's painful and inconvenient, but the dividends will be paid will be very large, and everyone will share in those dividends.
What is a sure thing is that getting there will take quite a bit more time. In Washington, I'm Atra Elnashar reporting.
On a happier note, new tonight, Fox 17 News reporter Caitlin Miller downtown throwing out the first pitch at the Nashville Sounds game at First Tennessee Park. Let's take a look. Caitlin's a great athlete, and there she is on the mound, just like the pitchers do. She's winding up, letting it fly, and Booster the rooster taking care of business. Going to run out there and give Caitlin a hug, and she'll get to take home the game ball. She's wearing one of the Nashville Sounds jerseys, probably that we keep here in studio, because Katie is always doing the forecast for them on the big screen.
You know, I was actually doing the weather, and I noticed one of the jerseys was missing.
That's where it is.
I was like, I know where it is.
There you go.
Which we do love to share them, especially for those Friday night games, for us throwing out the first pitch. Very exciting. And she did really well, too. She's awesome. She's a pro. Let's take a look here. Visibility tracker. We are looking a little foggy here out along the Cumberland Plateau, where visibility in some spots down to a mile. And as we head into the evening hours, a little bit more fog may be possible for us as we look for a few of these showers to remain, but most of them should clear as we head through the overnight. Later sunsets. Thought this was kind of fun to look at. Tonight, sunset was at 7:37. June 1st, the sunset will be at 7:59. And for the first day of summer, which will be June 20th, the sunset at 8:07. So we're starting to see that sun stay out a little longer and getting into the 8 o'clock range as we head towards the beginning of next month. High temperatures tomorrow here in Nashville around 83. Will be in the upper 70s up near Hopkinsville, Clarksville, Murfreesboro, even around 78 degrees. We'll talk more about an active pattern that continues into next week. That in your Fox 17 Code Red forecast.
Thank you, Jelnick, there tonight to tell us, unfortunately, how the Preds lost this one.
Scott, Preds have struggled in this first round series in home games right here at Bridgestone Arena, believe it or not, came into tonight without winning a single playoff game here. Their game 3 and game 4, then also dating back to their last playoff series 2 years ago. And unfortunately, the home playoff struggles continue. Preds officially falling to the Canucks tonight 1-0. Now, both teams were battling back and forth, went scoreless the first 2 periods, and finally came down to the final frame. Preds goaltender UC Saros with an incredible night. Arguably his best night of the series was tonight here at Bridgestone Arena. He blocked 28 shots, but one of them, just one, slipped by him, and that was the difference in the game. Go ahead and take a look at the final minutes of this.
That stinks. Yeah, obviously, it was a close game. It was there for us. They beat us. It's unfortunate. It's disappointing. I feel, it's as you get older in this, you feel like you just, piss away a season. It's frustrating, but it is what it is. They were the better team. They beat us.
Ryan O'Reilly, one of several veterans that were clearly frustrated in the locker room following this game. Roman Josi, the Preds captain, also frustrated, especially because he mentioned he is getting older. They're running out of time to try to make it back to that Stanley Cup final. And of course, with this game, the way it ended in the final minutes, the Preds having fought for all 3 periods, but then just couldn't answer back in the final minute of the game. A heartbreaker for these Predators that have come so far in the first year of head coach Andrew Brunette. And that's the other thing about this Preds team. Even though it did not end the way they wanted and they weren't able to get that win at home, still an impressive season for this Preds team under first year head coach Andrew Brunette, and a lot to look forward to in the future. Reporting live from Bridgestone Arena, Jill Jelnick, Fox 17 Sports, your Code Red station.
Coming up, we'll talk more about what looks to be an active week going into next week as well.
And more. Go to PonceLaw.com. Nominate a person, family, or organization today. They could be our next hometown hero. This Fox 17 newscast is sponsored by Ponce Law.
It was just right down disgraceful.
Tonight in Operation Crime and Justice, a look at the damage vandals did overnight inside Spring Hill High School. As Fox 17 News' Caitlin Miller shows us, it was bad enough to cancel classes today.
We spoke with some students and parents here at Spring Hill High School, and they say it was a senior prank taken too far, and they want to see these students be held accountable for their actions.
The video shows chairs and desks knocked down, toilet paper over the classrooms, and students inside garbage cans in the hallways. Shatika Lauren says her son is a junior at Spring Hill, and she woke up to a call early this morning saying school was canceled, but all after-school activities would occur on time.
I knew it was a senior prank happening. I just thought that it was part of the senior prank, not that it was necessarily scheduled.
After seeing what these students did, Lauren says she's shocked.
I honestly think that it is ridiculous. Like, they took it way too far. As I stated before to other people today, that I feel like they just took advantage of the time and just went beyond a prank.
Fox 17 News reached out to Murray County Schools, and they say the school was vandalized by students late Thursday night. Murray County Schools later added the damage at the high school was not as extensive as originally perceived, but they say an investigation regarding individuals who participated is ongoing. But parents are upset that this happened in their community.
These are people's jobs that they have to come into, and it's just taking a lot of time from those students that needed to be at school today.
Some seniors say they missed out on their last day of classes. A lot of families were concerned about graduation, but Murray County Schools believes that school will be in session on Monday and graduation will take place as planned. Murray County Schools says that this is still under investigation and we'll keep you updated as we hear more. Reporting from outside of Spring Hill High School, I'm Caitlin Miller, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Looking ahead now to Sunday in Nashville in Focus. This week, our panel is talking about, among other things, the budget Mayor O'Connell just sent to Metro Council and the proposed sales tax increase that will appear on the ballot in November to offer some funding for traffic and transit improvements.
Very interesting development on the transit referendum this week, where Americans for Prosperity, the Koch brothers group, said, we're going to sit this one out. And they like to not sit out urban transit referenda. They like to get involved in them and oppose them.
There are millions of dollars flowing in on the voucher deal,
right,
and there aren't millions of billionaires dollars flowing into AFP to fight a transit deal in Nashville.
Other topics on Sunday will include the state's lawsuit against the Biden administration over Title IX and the rewrite in the Department of Education, and Governor Lee's unsuccessful effort to convince the W workers down in Chattanooga to just say no to joining the United Auto Workers Union. That's Sunday morning at 6:30 and Sunday night at 10:30 on Nashville in Focus. Katie?
Scott, things looking pretty quiet downtown here in Nashville, but overnight we may see a few showers and thunderstorms around. Our active pattern is just going to continue as we head into the weekend and into next week. In fact, it'll be a little stormy to our north as well. Tomorrow, the Kentucky Derby. Temperatures look to be in the mid to upper 70s, and we will continue to have chances for rain. I saw pretty rainy conditions up in Louisville today, pretty muddy conditions on the track, and another muddy day looks to be the case for tomorrow. A lot of graduations going on back here at home, and unfortunately chances for showers and storms will be around as we head through the morning and the afternoon. Now, these are going to be pop-up varieties, so you may get lucky, but I would bring an umbrella just to be on the safe side. Here are some of the ones that are going on tomorrow, some in the morning and some in the afternoon hours as well. Things remain pretty pop-up variety this evening here. A look at the radar, and again, that pop-up variety will be the story for us at least through the weekend. We get into next week, and it's looking to be another very active week as far as severe weather goes for parts of the country as it was this week. We've seen some incredible tornado footage out of Nebraska, portions of Oklahoma, and Kansas. And as we get into next week, unfortunately, the same areas that have been hit hard this week look to be under the gun again for severe weather. In fact, they've already bullseyed an area in central Kansas right now. So that's not good to see for Monday. Tuesday gets a little closer to Tennessee here. So Tuesday we will be watching overnight into early Wednesday likely. Now, the bigger severe threat looks to be just to our west, but it is close enough that we need to keep our eye on it as we head through Tuesday and probably into early Wednesday morning for us. So we will see a line of showers and storms coming through, and that could provide us with a few strong thunderstorms. Other than that, I think most of these stay sub-severe through the weekend. A couple gusts of wind possible along with some heavy rain. Highs do remain above average.
This Fox 17 newscast is sponsored by the Rocky McElhaney Law Firm. Fox 17 News Farrier Files is sponsored by Bart Durham Injury Law.
Happening now, the Tennessee Spring Craft Fair is underway at Centennial Park. Here is an overview of what they've got happening so you'll know where to go. At the top of the map for a great frame of reference is the Parthenon, of course. And down here on this end is West End Avenue, J. Alexander's restaurant right across there. Now, in the circular area you see right here around the big grassy knoll, this is where you will find the vendors up and down both sides. The kids' tent area is right over here, and you see all these forks and knives. This is where the food trucks will be, so really it's going to be something for the whole family. This, by the way, the 53rd year for the annual craft fair. Vendors offering a variety of things that you can buy, and you can even watch some of these things being made. Among them, jewelry, pottery, leather goods, some glass, drawing, print.
There's my wife's birthday, and so we had a chance to bring my granddaughter out here and expose her to this type of stuff. It's not like, I guess all kids see is department store stuff and all of that, and this is all handmade, and just wanted to show it to her. Maybe she gets some inspiration out of it.
That's a good granddad right there. Craft Fair will run through Sunday. It is free, open to the public, and I mentioned those food trucks, so if you bring an appetite, that can be satisfied there as well. Just ahead, front runners, the two NASCAR drivers considered to be the favorites when NASCAR's racers go to Kansas on Sunday. And reading the room, how many
project that can let students get excited about their learning, they are going to do better.
How a group of kids solved a 40-year-old murder mystery.
I feel it's my responsibility to tell their story.
Fox 17 News investigates Monday at 9.
Earlier in the newscast, when we asked what you thought, a lot of you weighed in the question, have you ever lost money in an online scheme? Of course, we had a story where some people locally had lost big bucks. 197 people weighing in. Most of them, 82%, say it hasn't happened to me, but almost 18% say yes, I've been taken. We'll have another update on the numbers for you tonight on Fox 17 News at 10. So if you'd like, scan the QR code and weigh in between now and then.
Now here's a look at some of the headlines you should be watching as NASCAR heads to Kansas this weekend. 2 drivers have combined to win 6 of the first 11 races of the season. So is this already a 2-horse race?
Denny Hamlin and William Byron are the 2 best guys. They're the 2 best teams. I'm not going to say they're the best drivers, but their team, which the driver's a big part of it, is they're consistently every week. They're the ones that are close to the top of the heap every week.
Choices. NASCAR announced that drivers will have their choice of tire when running at North Wilkesboro in 2 weeks.
I know they did that a couple years ago at Charlotte, and I don't think it panned out the way that they were expecting it to. But I wasn't participating in the All-Star race at that time, so I'm pretty excited about it.
And Toyotas have dominated in the land of Oz, specifically 2311 Toyotas. So are they ready for another encore?
Well, it certainly fits us as drivers. You know, how we like to make speed out of our Toyota Camrys works well at a place like Kansas. You know, and I think on top of that, the team does a really good job of giving us the platform, the starting point that we need to build on.
You can watch my full conversations with Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick, and our expert Chris Carrier on the Backstretch podcast, which you can find on Apple Podcasts and on YouTube. On the Backstretch, I'm Heather Williams.
This is Fox 17 News at 10, your Code Red station.
I would have never thought that could have happened to me.
In Operation Crime and Justice, disturbing security of video that emphasizes a troubling problem, an uptick, I should say, in violent crime in Midtown. Fox 17 News' Kylie Walker is off Division Street with what she has discovered about recent crime in this popular Nashville neighborhood.
I've reported in this area twice in just 1 week. The first one when police say that a rapper was shot and killed by a repeat offender. Now, just 1 week later, I was reporting right where I'm standing right now on a woman who was attacked right outside of Kung Fu Saloon. While looking at Metro Police crime reports, I found that aggravated assaults from the end of February to April 20th of this year, there's been an 85% increase compared to the first 8 weeks of the year. And during that same time frame, violent offenses were up 45%. Now, community advocates are hoping to see more of a police presence.
Over time, a lot of the MNPD presence was moved from Midtown and specifically Division Street to Lower Broadway. And due to shortages and resources and so forth, it's been a challenge for MNPD to bring back that presence.
Lisa Haller with the Midtown Music Row neighborhood group says she'd also like to see more police enforcement when it comes to issues like noise ordinances. And Haller also says that she's been a big advocate for adding more streetlights to the area. I'm also in very close communication with the district councilman Jacob Coupin, who tells me that public safety is one of his top priorities. Now, he also says he's working very closely with police and the community to explore all options to combat some of the issues that I just mentioned. For now, reporting in Midtown, Kylie Walker, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
It was just right down disgraceful.
Tonight in Crisis in the Classroom, vandals do enough damage at Spring Hill High School overnight down in Murray County to force the cancellation of classes today. Only faculty and staff reported for work. Take a look. These are the images of the damage done inside Spring Hill High. They're now going viral on social media. It shows chairs and desks knocked over, toilet paper in classrooms, students inside garbage cans, in some cases in the hallways. School district leaders tell Fox 17 News. This damage was done by students late last night. School leaders initially thought the damage was worse than it is. An investigation is underway into the students responsible. Spring Hill parents are upset tonight.
I honestly think that it is ridiculous. Like, they took it way too far. As I stated before to other people today, that I feel like they just took advantage of the time and just went beyond a prank.
Murray County school leaders expect classes to be on the regular schedule come Monday, and they say the graduation ceremony will take place as planned. Crisis in the Classroom is our commitment to exposing problems in our schools and looking for solutions. If you have a story you'd like to see us cover, send an email to news@fox17.com, or you can call our tip line 615-266-4149. This week on Full Measure, President Biden is surprising some of his supporters on the Democratic side with a recent change in his stance on the border wall. For the better part of 3 years, President Biden and his Homeland Security Chief, Alejandro Mayorkas there on the right, claimed the border was closed. It was secure. Now this, as border agents told us and others, millions of migrants were pouring in illegally. But now the administration has started to work on miles of new border barrier all by itself. At the same time, it's trying to keep Texas from doing the same.
The hypocrisy is so nauseating. You know, on one end, you have President Biden building the border barrier, and at the other end, he's suing Governor Abbott for building or erecting a border barrier.
Why do you think the turnaround at the 11th hour? Why would the Biden administration now be building border wall?
I mean, bottom line is people overall as a country, they are seeing what's happening here. And the reality is that the circumstances that when you're having individuals coming into the country and again, not properly vetted or catch and release, it's having an impact on the national perspective here.
Cheryl Atkinson taking us to where Mr. Biden is building that new section of border wall. Also talks to locals about how this issue will impact their vote for the White House come November. That is Full Measure with Cheryl Atkinson Sunday morning at 7:30 right here on Fox 17. Katie?
Scott, we'll start with a live look here from our Metro Center camera. I've been looking at some areas out toward the Cumberland Plateau that have been reporting some lower visibility. So some patchy fog may be possible as we head through the evening hours for tonight. Here's a look downtown on Broadway. A lot of folks out and about enjoying the mild evening. Our temperature currently sitting in the upper 60s here to low 70s. So low 70s in downtown Nashville. Mostly cloudy skies, the story for us as well. And we'll look at some of that cloud cover to clear as we go through the evening. But a lot of the clouds continue because of these showers that are around. These are producing some very heavy pockets of rain out near White County, Van Buren County, and down to the south and the west here, Murray County, Lawrence, and Giles County. These are non-severe, but they are quite noisy and, again, producing some heavy rain. As we take a wider look here, you can see that we do have a few of these showers and storms that continue for us. But again, they are non-severe, and that's the way it should stay as we head through the evening hours. Low temperatures tonight sitting in those low 60s here in Nashville, Cookeville, Crossville in the low 60s also. Coming up, we will talk more about our active pattern over the next several days in your Fox 17 Code Red forecast. Right now, we want to send it out live to meteorologist Brett Luna. He is at Walk of Fame Park. Brett, I know it's been kind of a bummer night for the Preds fans out there. How's it looking? How's it feeling outside right now?
Katie, it was a little bit of a bummer tonight. This was my first ever Preds watch party that I've ever been to out here. It was great about 99% of the way through. And then that last minute when Vancouver scored, everybody was upset. And then after the game was officially over, it cleared out of here very quickly. Fortunately, we've been blessed with some great weather for this too. It feels great right now. It felt great all the way through the game as well. All those showers and thunderstorms that we were talking about, just those very much pop-up showers and thunderstorms, those nearly all stayed to the south and east of us most of the day. So for the game, we did not have any rain right here just across the street from Bridgestone Arena. Temperatures, they were great as well. And then we also caught up with a few Preds fans, one in particular. We showed you him in the 9 o'clock show. He was super excited to be here. He traveled all the way from Greenville, South Carolina to come watch this game tonight. And he was very excited to be here. Unfortunately, they did not come away with a win tonight, though, even though he was feeling very confident before the game that they would.
We're here to watch the Preds win. Right. It's going to happen. I'll promise you that. And it's going to get rowdy in Nashville tonight.
Well, unfortunately, the Preds did not win, so I hope Dan and all of his buddies are doing all right tonight. Still so many things going on around Nashville, though. Just a great time to spend your Friday night out here. The weekend's looking really good, too, except for those scattered showers and thunderstorms that are going to be possible. Reporting live in Nashville, Brett Luna, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Brett, thank you. Still to come, it is win or go home downtown tonight, though.
And stay safe. Fox 17 News, your Code Red station. Alerts, empowers, protects.
This Fox 17 newscast is sponsored by Tennessee Home Buyers.
It was a do-or-die game tonight for the Preds as they faced off against the Vancouver Canucks in a playoff elimination game downtown at Bridgestone Arena. Fox 17 Sports Director Jill Jelnick there tonight. The place has cleared out, and how they lost is probably the biggest story.
Heartbreaking, Scott, especially because it happened here at home. The Preds had struggled at home in this first round series against the Vancouver Canucks. They lost games 3 and 4 here at Bridgestone Arena and had lost 5 home playoff games in a row coming into game 6 tonight. And unfortunately, that was once again the case. The Canucks defeating the Preds 1-0, officially ending the Nashville Predators season. And this was a heartbreaker for a number of reasons, but especially because Preds goaltender UC Saros had arguably his best performance of the series tonight. He blocked 28 shots on goal, but just one slipped by him in the final minutes of the game, and that goal was the difference. Take a look at how it unraveled in the final minutes. The two teams.
That stinks. Yeah, obviously, it was a close game. It was there for us. They beat us. It's unfortunate. It's disappointing. I feel, it's as you get older in this, you feel like you just piss away a season. It's frustrating, but it is what it is. They were the better team. They beat us.
Preds forward Ryan O'Reilly, along with his teammates, were all visibly upset in the locker room afterwards, and rightfully so. They said this series came down to missed opportunities. Missed opportunity here at home, trying to close out in front of this wonderful fan base, and also before losing the 2 previous games here at Bridgestone Arena. Another missed opportunity came with the power play. Preds struggled with the power play this entire series. They were 2 of 24 on the power play in this first round series against the Canucks. 0 for 12 here at home on the power play. Another missed opportunity there, and then of course this isn't the way the Preds wanted to end this season, especially after having fought so hard the second half of the season to make a playoff push in the first year of head coach Andrew Burnett. But that is the one silver lining that comes out of it. Despite the loss tonight, despite the ending to the season, the Preds have a bright future, especially as they start to shift focus and get ready for their second year under head coach Andrew Burnett, who exceeded expectations in year 1. Reporting live from Bridgestone Arena, Jill Jelnick, Fox 17 Sports, your Code Red station.
I'm Matt Gelka in Washington. Coming up, the warning from some experts that China might be trying to use TikTok to instigate.
Time is running out. This is the last weekend to shop the Rooms to Go spring clearance.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Zander Insurance.
Earlier in the newscast, we wanted to know what you think about whether you have ever lost money to an online scheme, the focus of one of our stories tonight. 200 votes even coming in. 82.5% say no, it hasn't happened to me, but 17.5% say yes, I was taken. Every night, look for a new poll on our X page. Our thanks tonight for all who voted this evening. New tonight, a warning about what's causing some of the campus protests over the Israel-Gaza war with Hamas. Now, some experts believe that China could be manipulating TikTok to help to ensure that tensions boil over. Fox 17 News' Matt Galka shows us how.
Campus protests took a noticeable and aggressive turn this week. Some protests went from mostly peaceful tent encampments to building takeovers and campus damage. Clashes with police forces around the country led to hundreds of arrests. China expert Gordon Chang thinks the Chinese Communist Party is stirring the pot on TikTok.
China is using the curation algorithm of TikTok to foment these protests. We know of the Hamas videos on that platform, 96.5% of them support the terrorist group.
There's an estimated 170 million Americans on the controversial app. A Pew Research study shows the number of people under 30 who say they get their news from the app has almost quadrupled in the past 4 years, going from about 9% in 2020 to 32% last year. Chang says China has targeted users in the past, and they're doing it again.
They use big data to identify Americans likely to participate in Antifa and Black Lives Matter protests, and then they sent them tailor-made videos on TikTok on how to riot. That is an act of war. China did it in 2020. It's doing it now.
Fears over China accessing American data and manipulating the algorithm have been chief concerns for the FBI.
The different kinds of influence operations you're describing are extraordinarily difficult to detect, which is part of what makes the national security concerns represented by TikTok so significant.
Other experts warn the Chinese government is also using fake accounts on the app to further divide and weaken the country.
China has a very deliberate strategy to embed propaganda into social media.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken said in April that the U.S. already had seen evidence of China trying to meddle in the 2024 election. It came after China's president told President Joe Biden the country would not do that. Reporting in Washington, I'm Matt Galka.
Had quite a few showers today, some producing some very heavy rainfall over a short amount of time, and that trend is going to continue as we head through the weekend and into early next week as well. In fact, what we can see, several chances for these showers throughout each day. The good news is severe weather does not look to be a big problem for us as we move through the afternoon hours. Most of these should come in the afternoon and then should taper off into the evening. We will be able to see, though, heavy rain, lightning, and maybe some gusts up to 40 miles per hour. But rain chances here remain pretty strong as we head through the rest of the weekend and into early next week. And then going into, I would say, Tuesday and Wednesday, maybe the potential for some stronger storms. We're going to be near a bigger threat for severe weather. We're close enough. We want to keep an eye on it. Let's walk you through tonight into tomorrow morning. Relatively quiet here. A couple showers will be possible for the morning hours. And we get into the afternoon. Notice how we see more of these storms pop up in the afternoon. We call these popcorn storms. Not a meteorological term, really, but it's more just to showcase how random they are. And it's a very summer-like pattern. That will be the case for Saturday and for Sunday. So we can't really time these out. These aren't going to come in a specific time and leave at a specific time. I would say our chances for rain go up after lunchtime and will be around for much of the day. Here's 6 p.m. And again, staying very random on where they pop up. 9 and then into the overnight, we begin to quiet down. Sunday morning, a few showers, a couple more blossoming into the afternoon, and that remains to be the case through Sunday afternoon and early evening. With a few more showers by Monday morning. So again, very active over the next few days here. Rain, how much we're going to see in the rain gauge really just depends on where these pockets decide to set up. You could end up with very little in the rain gauge or a quick 1 inch of rainfall. It just again depends on where some of those heavier pockets decide to set up for us. Tonight, look for a few pop-up thunderstorms. Otherwise, mostly cloudy to partly cloudy skies. Our temperature hovering around 60. May even see some patches of fog. Scattered thunderstorms developing for the afternoon, mainly after lunchtime. Our temperature right around 82 for the afternoon. And again, some of these may produce some heavy pockets of rain, so do keep that in mind. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. We stay in those 80s all the way into the early part of next week, but notice each and every day we've got a chance for showers and thunderstorms. So a very active, very unsettled week ahead and weekend with the overnight lows staying quite mild for us too, mainly in the 60s.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
This is what meteorologists call a classic supercell structure. It's the severe thunderstorm that produced the devastating tornadoes near Abilene, Texas on Thursday. Fresh snowfall in May? Of course, if you live in the Utah mountains, you can still ski at 3 resorts. And the northern lights were visible in some parts of the lower 48 last night. This picture was taken near Syracuse, New York.
For more content like this, like the National Weather Desk on Facebook.
And you can see more weather stories like this weekday mornings on the National Weather Desk starting at 8 a.m. on our sister station, MyTV 30.
I'm Jeff Harris.
Quality checks in a typical hour.
They really take pride in what they do.
Like us.
This Fox 17 newscast is sponsored by the Rocky McElhaney Law Firm.
Across America tonight, questions about what's next for those pro-Palestinian protesters arrested at Columbia University this week in New York. Fox 17 News' Jeff Harris is talking with police and legal experts to find out.
In the past 2 weeks, more than 2,000 arrests have been made at pro-Palestinian protests all across the country. And many of those students are now facing criminal charges. But experts we spoke with say how those charges play out and if they will stick falls into the hands of each jurisdiction.
It's wild to see the different district attorneys' offices across the country and how they're reacting.
Take Austin, Texas, for example, where attorney Jorge Vela works. Last week, Travis County prosecutors dropped charges against 57 people arrested during protests.
They were quick to analyze each of these cases and determine that none of the arrests would withstand a probable cause attack.
But Vela tells us not every district attorney will feel the same way.
I think there are other district attorneys' offices that feel the opposite, that these individuals have crossed a line that go over and above their protections under the First Amendment.
Meaning those arrested could then face criminal charges. But the severity of that charge will likely vary depending on the crime.
Attacking a police officer or attacking a fellow student, those are going to come with stiffer penalties.
Plus, Brantner Smith says prior criminal history could also become a factor.
Just a trespassing on a campus and not leaving when you're told, that's a relatively low-level crime unless you've committed it 50 times in the last couple of years.
Now, over the last few days, several schools have made agreements with pro-Palestinian protesters to end their encampments. Northwestern, Brown, Rutgers, and the University of Minnesota have all reached deals. I'm Jeff Harris reporting from Washington.
A new report shows 8 health screenings could make a difference in our future health. I'm Liz Bonus. Do you know what's on the list? We'll share it just ahead.
Hey there, hope you're having a good night. I'm Jennifer Waddell from Fox 17 News this morning. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and there are some new studies that show our pets reduce stress. They provide security and can even help in social interactions. A veterinarian will weigh in on the role of our 4-legged family members coming up Monday on Fox 17 News this morning. I'll see you then.
Go to PonseyLaw.com, fill out the form, and tell us who you truly believe is a hometown hero and why. Celebrate our heroes with Fox 17 News Hometown Heroes, sponsored by Ponce Law.
In health news tonight, screenings that could help to lower your risk of some chronic health problems. Fox 17 medical reporter Liz Bonus now to tell us what's recommended.
Hey there, everybody. A recent report shows there are 8 screenings that all of us need to stay well, but they appear to be especially important if you are African American, and here's why.
From an early diagnosis on cardiovascular disease to an early diagnosis on diabetes, the earlier that you learn and the sooner that you can work with your primary care doctor or specialist, the more likely you are to have a better outcome.
An outcome that can influence your health for the rest of your life, according to Renee Mahaffey-Harris, the president and CEO of the Center for Closing the Health Gap.
The first health screening I got, my blood pressure is good.
At this recent Health Gap Health Expo at Ohio's Washington Park, hundreds came out to get at least some of these 8 screenings recommended. Clarence Moore was one of them.
Early detection is the key.
He's right. This report shows African Americans are more likely to get 8 illnesses compared to some other populations. They include heart disease, high blood pressure, obesity, diabetes, stroke, cancer, chronic liver disease, and asthma.
Within families, within individuals, the more that we can be equipped with the tools to understand what we can do in activating our own agency in our health, that's what the factors, that's what's going to begin to change, I believe, those outcomes over time.
The top screening tests then to find these health concerns so you can intervene early include cholesterol, blood pressure, weight, blood sugar levels, cancer screening such as mammograms and PSA levels, liver enzymes, and allergy or breathing tests.
You know, we have people in our community that have diabetes, hypertension, so being able to inform them about their numbers, where their numbers are, what's normal, what's high, how to follow up when those numbers come back high, it's important.
Your primary care doctor, the best person to talk to about how you can get these screening tests. With your health news, I'm Liz Bonus reporting.
All right, Liz, thank you. The weekend's upon us, Katie, and so far hasn't been a washout, so I guess fingers crossed some of us will see some